Hello, welcome to another edition of British Smoking Barbecue. Today we're going to be doing a Temps on a roast dinner on the Kamado Big Joe 3. I'm not going to use the slow roller on this occasion, I'm just going to use the deflector shields it came with. We're going to do a spatchcock chicken, some roast potatoes with rosemary and garlic. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I've got the barbecue lit now, and it's going to take roughly 45 minutes to an hour to get up to 375, which is what I'm aiming for. And that should be hot enough to not only roast the chicken, but also to roast the potatoes as well. I'm going to parboil the potatoes for at least 10 minutes, and I've already got all that peeled and ready to go. And my next job now is to spatchcock this chicken and use the rub. So all we're going to do, in a sense, is This is a large chicken, this one, so my guess is it's probably going to take an hour and 20 minutes thereabouts. Okay, so the next thing we've got to do is spatchcock the chicken. What we're going to do is grab the tailbone, just cut along the tailbone all the way through. A good sharp knife for this. Okay. Do the same on the other side. It's easier to use meat shears. I don't have any at the moment. The shop's shut. Okay. All we do is just chop the backbone, and that chicken is spatchcocked. Now you can cut away these rib bones, just get underneath. You don't need to go too mad. This one's actually not too bad. Just get underneath. Makes carving a little easier later on. Just take off the excess skin. So what that's going to do is burn up. And that pretty much done. Okay, so now what we're going to do is apply some kitchen paper. And the excess moisture. Nice. Now, I've just got a store-bought mixture. I'm just going to show you. Beech shop. It's got a nice lemony taste to it. It's not over. No spice or anything to it. I'm happy with that. Don't worry too much about the excess fat, because most of that will render anyway during the cook. And just be very liberal, because the the only flavour this is going to have today. Just put that in. Don't be afraid to get really into the meat. This is where all the flavour comes in. Now you could use a binder doing this. A bit of olive oil maybe. This will just sweat itself in. I do love chicken. Chicken is a blank slate, literally. Cook it up any way you like. It's such a versatile meat. Make sure you get all those little nooks and crannies. Like I said, all that flavour is going to get in. Side. Okay, good view. It's actually quite a big chicken. So it might be an hour and a half. We'll see how it goes. Now some people like to leave the meat to get to room temperature. On a chicken, I definitely don't recommend doing that. Reason being is it's a danger food, which can leave you prone to getting food poisoning if you haven't prepared it right. Okay. Now, it's not waste. Now for the roast potatoes, I'm using fresh rosemary. Just going to rub together just to activate it, activate the flavour. And I've got garlic. I'm going to use goose fat. You can use any type of fat you like. I mean, you can use beef dripping, olive oil, vegetable oil. But for me, I find that the goose fat gives it a nice crispy outside and soft as butter on the inside. Don't be shy, this is where you're going to get your crispy skin. Normally use about half a jar. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the barbecue where all the flavour of the rosemary and the garlic is going to fuse with the oil and give us a nice added flavour to our roast potatoes. I'm also using a little bit of hickory today for a smoke, so we'll see how it turns out. I have done this a couple of times before, hence why I know I need a minimum of 350 degrees Fahrenheit in the dough. And I've offset the actual grates as well, just to ensure that we get a little extra heat on the potatoes to make sure they get nice and crispy. I'm going to give the potatoes roughly 40 minutes each side. Okay, so I'm just going to go and pop this into the grill, and once they're ready for the next step, which is to pop the potatoes in and pop the spatchcock chicken onto the grill, I'll be back. Okay, so another very very windy day up here in Hertfordshire. I've got the Kamado dialed in, roughly 372 to 375, will fluctuate up and down. I've got the top vent just past the third line, and I've got the lower vent open roughly 4 fingers. Remember that with the vents, the bottom vent accounts for about 70% of your control, with the top vent about 30% of your control. So, without further ado, it's almost time to put the potatoes on and the chicken and get started properly with the cook. I'll be back. Okay, now we're ready to pop our potatoes in. All we're going to do, just pour them in the oil. And the important thing about potatoes, get them right, is you've got to cover all that in the oil, so you get all the oil all over your potatoes. Doesn't matter if they're a little crumbly, makes for a better roast potato in my opinion. These are King Edward's potatoes, you can see, because you've parboiled. Soft. I've given these roughly 15 minutes or so. 10 minutes of that in boiling water. Yeah, we are going to have some really nice spuds from the looks of it. I'm just going to spread these out. What we're going to do then is we'll leave the potatoes to do their thing, roughly 40 minutes or so. Now I've got a probe for our chicken. Just going to rest our chicken on the other side, so it's nice and even in the smoke, and that's it, that's all pretty much done. And when we come back we should have some nice roast potatoes and roast dinner. See you shortly. Okay, that chicken is done, so I'm just going to pull that off. I'm going to leave the potatoes in for just a little bit longer. That's okay because the chicken itself has to rest anyway. There. I've already probe tested it. It's in at over 165, which is where you want it. So, next thing's coming up will be sort out our potatoes, which are roasting nicely. Okay, the potatoes are now done. They've been in there for about an hour and 20 minutes. Most of the temperature, first half of the cook, 45 minutes or so, was about 380 degrees. Second half was at 390, and then for the last 10 minutes or so, I cranked it up to about 430. I do love the versatility of the Kamado Joe. But without further ado, I need to take the potatoes out of the Kamado. And that is the finished product, all cooked on the Kamado Joe Big Joe 3. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to hit subscribe, as this helps the channel, and if you like it, please press like as well. Thank you. Until next time. Okay, prologue. I have to say that was probably the one of the juiciest chickens I've had for quite some time, and you can only really achieve that on a Kamado type grill. I mean, the amount of juice coming out the breast was just incredible. I should have really showed it on the video, but I was too busy enjoying the food. So if you're thinking of buying a Kamado Joe Big Joe 3, then I would definitely recommend it. I've had this one now since August last year. I've done quite a few cooks on it, and I absolutely love it. So much fun. So until next time,